So over the last 24 hours, there's been a lot more development when it's come to this whole entire Dr. Disrespect allegations and accusations about him supposedly sexting a minor using some of the Twitch features, and that is supposedly the reason why he got banned. Now, before I do get into this video, one thing I want to point out is that I don't know if I made it obvious enough in my last video with how I was speaking and like what I was trying to say things. Now, I'm going to make it out. I'm going to say it at the start of this video just so you get it in your head, because I kind of, when I looked at my likes and dislike ratios of my last video, which is obviously a bit lower than what my usual, like, it's usually at 80%, and this is like 9 likes, 8 dislikes. And I kind of like got the conceptions, and I also saw someone's comment who called me garbage. With this video, and same with my last one, I am not here to take sides. I have been told in a previous video that I made that's got a lot of views and a decent amount of comments that one of my subscribers said to try to remain as unbiased as possible in every single thing and look at both sides. So that is what I'm doing in these videos. I am not saying that Doc is completely innocent. I'm also not here to state whether he is completely guilty at the same times. I am going to see both sides of this and look at both sides. So that is what we're going to do today as the new development. Now, before we do get into the new developments, I obviously want to just do a little recap about what's happened since these whole entire Doc accusations, just to kind of catch you up with all the information. So a few days ago, I think by this time now was like Friday, I think it was. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. I think it was like Friday or Saturday. A former Twitch employee named Cody Connors came out and he tweeted very cryptic, but it was obviously targeted at Doc, and a lot of people have confirmed that he was talking about Doc. That's supposedly the reason why Dr. Disrespect got banned 4 years ago from Twitch, which to this point had been unknown. And if you really think about it, it is still somewhat unknown as well at the same time, is that supposedly the reason why Dr. Disrespect got banned was because he was supposedly sexting a minor to meet up with them at TwitchCon using the former feature on Twitch known as Whispers. And not only did he tweet this out, but also there was another former Twitch employee who tweeted this out to confirm this. There was also a couple reporters who also tweeted this out as well, just to, like, you know, say, hey, we heard about this too as well. Then Jake Lucky retweeted this, to which Dr. Disrespect replied to Jake Lucky's tweet. And obviously when it came to that tweet, everyone was a bit skeptical about the way that Dr. Disrespect responded. But since then, I did pin it in my last video, but I am going to mention it because I didn't mention it in my last video. But the one development that we had since then was that Dr. Disrespect did come out and make his own official tweet about all of this, talking about how he could only speak about this pretty much like, you know, he was being held back from speaking about it in detail due to legal obligation, which, I mean, when you see that, you kind of understand what he initially said when it came to Jake Lucky's reply, where he can't really get into details and pretty much say straight out that, hey, this isn't what actually happened, and I didn't do this. It just seems that, you know, he's kind of held by legal obligations, which, I mean, is kind of fair enough. And especially if you read that tweet as well, you can kind of see that everything's a bit, you know, on edge still, and he can't really talk about his Twitch ban in detail. And obviously since then as well, Dr. Disrespect has gone live, which he did yesterday. And during the start of his stream, he did acknowledge, like, not really like straight up acknowledge obviously any of the allegations or mention it, but he obviously does know, and obviously he does know that, you know, people are talking about him. And he did say at the start of his stream that he will not be talking about or answering any questions when it came to these allegations.
For those that are looking for me to expand on this weekend, not gonna. I already said what I needed to say. I don't give a fuck about this guy. That's it. So I do appreciate the donations. I do appreciate the messages. but I like to put it in fifth gear right off the rip.
Also, during his stream as well, people are noting out this clip that I'm about to show in a second as well. It's similar to Dr. Disrespect's clip for when he got banned from Twitch, of where he's, just going about, pretty much playing the character of Dr. Disrespect and kind of going about his stream. But then he gets obviously some kind of notification on his phone, to which he reacts to. And obviously you can tell, like, by his mood that it kind of simmers down. And if you've seen the clip from, like, his last stream of when he got banned from Twitch, it kind of has, like, similar vibes that something is, like, going on behind the scenes.
You know how we run things here.
So obviously there, like, Doc's obviously seen something, and this is not, like, I'm not trying to make any fucking theories and say, like, oh, Doc obviously, it's obviously true because you can see it right fucking there that Dr. Disrespect knows that something really bad has happened, so he's obviously done it. No, that's not what I'm here to say. I'm obviously, he saw something on his phone. It doesn't matter what it is. Obviously, got to do with this whole entire situation, and he's obviously seen some kind of notification similar to, like, his Twitch ban, and he's obviously, built up emotion by it. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that the man even, like, went live in the first place. I mean, I kind of give him props for that. Like, to be honest, that's a lot of guts. Like, after all these allegations in the whole entire Twitter and internet talking shit about him and pretty much, already coming out and saying, like, he's 100% done this, and people saying that, he's guilty or whatever, and then other people saying that, like, no, he's not, and all that shit. But also during this time as well, Dr. Disrespect's game company, which he has been involved in since day one, Midnight Society, also came and put out a tweet that they are no longer being affiliated with Dr. Disrespect, aka Guy Beam being his real name. And they tweeted this out, saying that on Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed along with our community of players. Now, before I get into this tweet in even more detail and kind of look over it and ask some questions about the tweet as well, I'm going to show one more clip from Dr. Disrespect's recent stream. This is at the end of the stream where he does acknowledge about taking a step back from Midnight Society and also mentioning that he will be taking a break from streaming for pretty much the indefinite future, which, I mean, to be honest, doesn't really surprise me as well.
I think more importantly, we need to... when I say step away, I'm going to have to relay this to the Midnight Society, but maybe I step away from there too. Just completely remove myself from the scene. It's what I need to do. Right? Take all the time you need, says Layer Cake. I appreciate that. Give me back my dog! Don't be a pussy. God damn it. I'm telling you, it's fatigue. It's tired. It's wanting to just kind of move away from the limelight. Ultimately, that's what it's about. You know what I mean, champs? Damn, now what? I mean, shit, there's 50 million other streamers you can watch right now. It's getting old, yo. What's getting old? Get the break. Respect it, Doc. Okay, I appreciate that. It's getting old. You're not alone. That's not very nice. You don't like me? It's time to drive into the sunset, says Swervin. Oof, man, I like your style. It might be time to drive in the sunset, champs. I appreciate all of you. Appreciate all the commitments, the recommitments. Please, do me a favor. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you soon. Yeah.
So that is the clip there. That is from like the end of his recent stream where, you know, it is very somber, and like I've said in my previous video, I am a Dr. Disrespect fan, so like putting all these allegations aside for a split second, it is sad to see like that, you know, this is like happening, and that, you know, he does seem a little bit obviously emotional. I'm surprised that he's like still able to keep in character while the end of this stream is going on, and he doesn't like, you know, completely break down or just, you know, say that this is fucking shit and all that kind of stuff. But now to get into like my opinions, and, you know, I'm going to remain relatively unbiased. I'm going to see both sides of this, so somewhat of my opinions. But when it comes to the Midnight Society tweet, and it comes to all these allegations in general, I also saw these tweets by Cody Connors as well, which, to be honest, is just him really kind of mumbling on and doesn't really like, you know, it doesn't really add anything to it, but he's just kind of like reiterating that all this stuff, he's been hearing it for a long period of time. He did also like slightly acknowledge about his previous tweets that he put out in years prior, where it came to him like mentioning about the band, but saying it like in a joking way as well, which I think is extremely stupid, just to sell tickets for his fucking stupid band. But when it comes to the Midnight Society tweet, the one thing that like I am concerned about is the fact that they supposedly have looked into this. So they did acknowledge that, you know, they assumed he was innocent and they were on Doc's side at first. But they're saying that they have spoken to certain parties involved. And when they're saying that they have spoken to certain parties involved, have they spoken to similar sources where Cody and all these other people are getting it from, where it's like more of a secondhand source and not the actual source itself? Like, did they speak to someone who is like heavily involved in Twitch still to this point and actually knows and was actually in the room for Dr. Disrespect's band? Because at this point, we still obviously don't have any proof, or we don't have anyone who was like directly involved in Doc's band coming out and say that. Like, so that means it's just like, who did the Midnight Society, the people involved there, talk to? Like, I would like to know exactly who they talked to see if, like, you know, the people they talked to was a credible source themselves. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't really look good from Doc's point of view of like, man, they assumed he's innocent, and now all of a sudden, you know, they're terminating their relationship with him altogether. But once again, you know, this is, I think when it comes to all these allegations in general, I've seen a lot of people saying it on the internet. There's obviously two sides. There's the is Dr. Disrespect is innocent side, Dr. Disrespect is guilty side. When it comes to Dr. Disrespect innocent side, I understand to a certain point as well, is that like this so far has been a lot of he say, she say. That's really all it's been. We have not gotten any credible like evidence so far, or any credible sources. We haven't gotten anyone who's still involved in Twitch at this point in time saying that, hey, this is exactly what happened. And at the same time, we haven't really gotten like any like straight proof of saying like, hey, these are the messages. Because like I said in my last video, if there are messages, Twitch 100% has them. Now, when it comes to Dr. Disrespect 100% being guilty, you can also see that part as well, especially at this point in time. Is just like, you know, with the amount of people that are coming out and saying that they've heard of this. There's people that have tweeted about it in previous time, talking about there was someone at Twitch who got banned, who has been linked to some kind of, you know, predatory acts. And then we've also seen, you know, the way that Midnight Society has now responded to all these allegations as well by terminating their relationship with the Dr. Disrespect altogether. But when it comes to all this, I am not going to immediately 100% say that Doc is innocent or say that he is 100% guilty. I am still on the fence, and I will be on the fence for my YouTube sake and also for just the sake in general. 100%. Like, I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. I am still going to wait, because I 100% think, and I said it in my last video as well, that this will get resolved in like a week's time. And I still think that might happen, but who knows? Maybe because of the legal obligation that we still might have to wait. But at the same time, it also like questions it as well. It's like, if this actually did happen, like, I think that if Dr. Disrespect really was doing these acts, Twitch should have said something. Like, fuck all the legal things. It's just like, man, if someone is like, you know, being a predator, if someone's a pedophile, a predator, you have to out that person. You have to protect other people and not let them go onto another platform altogether as well. So this whole entire situation is just very, very skeptical, and it's all hearsay, she say at this point in time. So to me, it's just all of like a, let's sit back, let's wait. This is all the information that we've got at this point in time, but we will definitely hear about this 100%. This will get resolved one way or another. There's either it's gonna come out that it's all bullshit and it was wrong, or it's gonna come out that Dr. Disrespect has in fact sexted a minor in the past. But I would like to hear what you guys have to think about this down below. What do you think of all this so far? Do you think he's innocent? Do you think he's guilty? Are you on the fence as well when it comes to this whole entire situation? But that is it from me. Peace out.